Someone yelled, "Quiet on set," but clearly, the laughter didn't get the memo. 1 second, the scene was serious. A powerful moment from Jesus. The next, someone farted, and the entire cast lost it. Season 6 of The Chosen brings some of the most emotional scenes we've seen so far. But behind the camera, it's a totally different story. Even the most serious actors break down laughing sometimes. And we've got the proof. Let's start with one of the funniest bloopers. From this season, the scene was supposed to be intense. Jesus was teaching, and all the disciples were listening closely. The camera rolled. Silence filled the room, but just as Jesus opened his mouth to speak, a donkey in the background let out the loudest sound you can imagine. It wasn't planned. It wasn't part of the script. The actors paused, trying to stay in character, but then one of them burst out laughing, and the entire scene fell apart. Even the camera crew couldn't stop giggling. The director just sighed and said, "Okay, reset." Then there was the fishing scene. It looked perfect on screen. Calm water, bright sky, everything just right. But what viewers didn't see is how many takes it took. Every time someone tried to throw a net into the water, it either got stuck, hit someone in the face, or flopped like a wet towel. In one take, the net flew too far and knocked over a light stand on the boat. One of the actors just stared at the camera and said, "We are so ready for Broadway," which made the whole boat shake with laughter. There's also a moment when Matthew, the tax collector, was rehearsing a serious line about faith. He was supposed to say, "I believe because I've seen his works," but he kept messing up and accidentally said, "I believe because I've seen his forks." Everyone tried to stay calm, but you can guess how that went. The sound guy dropped his mic from laughing so hard. Matthew tried again, and this time said, "I believe because I've seen his socks." At that point, even Jesus had to cover his face to hide the smile. And don't even get started on the costume fails. In one scene, Peter's robe got caught on a nail just off screen. He tried to walk forward, but the robe yanked him back like a cartoon. He didn't fall. He just kind of froze, looking confused. "Am I stuck?" he asked. The answer was yes. Everyone laughed for 5 full minutes before anyone helped him out. And right after that, the robe ripped. They had to stop filming until the wardrobe team stitched it back together. It's not just the actors either. Even the animals seem to get in on the fun. During a sunrise scene, a chicken kept walking across the background. No matter where, they moved it. The chicken would come back, staring directly at the camera, like it wanted a speaking role. The assistant director finally gave up and said, "Fine, let him be part of the story." That chicken now has more screen time than some of the extras. And speaking of extras, one of them clearly didn't get the memo. In a background crowd scene, everyone was supposed to act shocked. But this one guy, he waved at the camera like it was his mom watching from home. The camera had to cut immediately, and the director just said, "We love the energy, but please don't wave during a crucifixion." Even the miracles had their share of bloopers. In a scene where Jesus was healing someone, the special effect lights were supposed to flash softly, but instead, they blinked like a disco ball. The actor playing Jesus tried to stay serious, but the lights kept flashing in his eyes, and he finally said, "Are we doing a healing or a dance party?" The whole set broke down laughing again. They had to fix the lights and shoot the whole thing from scratch. Through it all, you can tell the cast and crew have a strong bond. They mess up, they laugh, they reset, and they try again. And that joy, it shows. It's part of what makes The Chosen feel so real. Not just in the story, but in the people behind it. These behind-the-scenes moments remind us that even when you're filming a show about faith, love, and miracles, sometimes the biggest miracle is getting through a scene without laughing.